Welcome back to Apex Legends. This video was sponsored by Apex, and you can check out the game for free in the description down below. My buddies Will and Bridger have been playing this for the past few days because of this huge content update they were talking to me about. Now, these two guys are basically professionals at the game, and I wanted to join them eventually, and so this was a good opportunity for me to hop in. Well, at least I thought they were professionals.
Nope. Give him a zip line.
No way.
Oh, no, the blue.
Oh no! Freedom! Oh, he's gonna.
No!
Come on! Oh my gosh! And when the guys over at Apex contacted me about sponsoring one of my videos that was literally made about the new content that was brought into the game, I was like, heck yeah, that'll be easy. I can play with my friends and do a sponsored video in one. I mean, this is one of those games that's just like, hey, it's a solid BR game in 2019 that's still delivering new content. Okay, I'll cover it. Getting back into Apex Legends is kind of crazy. There's a lot of new content. I mean, there's new weapons to worry about. There's dinosaurs that will stomp you.
No! I missed it!
Get the loot, get the loot.
Drew!
Oh, I'm dead. Some of the entire areas of the map have been revamped for balancing improvements and just to be different. But today I'm here to help you out, kind of get used to what is going on and try to help you with a strategy guide, a very tactical, very operator-ish strategy guide to learning, for example, how to use the new legend, Wattson. She's a perfect defensive legend in this game. And although I was definitely a Bloodhound main before, Wattson is one of the most powerful defensive legends out there. I love her abilities. She's got very, very cool and creative trap abilities, which I definitely like. So today I'm going to be guiding you through how to use Wattson and also a lot of the new features that are also in the Season 2 of Apex. First, let's talk about Wattson and her main abilities. Wattson sports these tripwire styled electrical traps. You place down one, then you place down another, and then instantly within maybe 2 or so seconds, there's an electrical field that just explodes in between the two. If a player were to walk through this electrical field, it'll slow them down, it'll deal damage, and right as they walk through it, it'll show the enemy's location to the Wattson who placed that trap. A lot of Wattsons spend a lot of time creating these huge trap extravaganza locations, and the thing is that there's a cooldown between how many traps you can place. So maybe at once you can place at most 4 traps, 4 pylons that make kind of like 2 traps, but overall that's not a very effective thing because it's only just like 2 traps. If you spend a lot of time though, you can create like up to 8 of these bad boys, and so if you get in the right location and the zone is perfectly closing in on yourself, then you can create a very fortified location with like up to 8 or 6 of these traps around you, and it's very effective at keeping your perimeter kind of secure and making sure that you know if enemies are coming around you. Also, even something like mid-fight, you can effectively place these down while you're in a fight, and it'll confuse and it'll slow down the enemies who are trying to maneuver around you. This can be the difference between an enemy coming around a corner and them deciding not to, even though right now all it takes to kill the little pylons is maybe 3 shots out of an assault rifle, or 1 kick melee, or 1 grenade blast nearby. The pole of the traps is invincible. To destroy these, the enemies only have to deal a small amount of damage to the base of the trap. A single kick, a shotgun blast, or 2-3 rounds of a rifle will destroy one of the poles of this trap. And if you destroy a pole, it destroys that electrical field for that area. There might be still a pole remaining on the ground, but that pole won't work by itself. It needs another pole friend to be able to make that electrical field. What's really cool though, if you're a Wattson that's fighting a Wattson and she's placed down her traps, you can actually destroy one of her 2 trap poles and replace it with one of your own. The trap will instantly turn from theirs to yours, and you can save one of your poles for later with this method. It also confuses them too, because they'll come running back expecting it to be their own trap, and sometimes they'll run into it not really expecting that their trap changed to your trap. Wattson's ultimate ability is also really defensive as well. Wattson's trophy system is probably one of the most powerful ults in the game, and it is definitely the most powerful as a defensive ultimate for my sort of playstyle. It destroys any incoming ordnance. It can even handle a full airstrike from Bangalore or Gibraltar with ease. The trophy system, it also lasts just forever. It never cools down. It never dies. It can take as many projectiles as you throw at it. It also has a pretty large protection radius, and when set up in the right spot, can easily scare enemies from entering your protected spot, as well as if you place these the Wattson traps all around too. If you have them around an area that also has Wattson's ultimate in the middle, it's a pretty defensive location. It's really hard to push because you can't throw any throwables, and Bangalore and Gibraltar can't shoot their airstrikes at you. So it gets really, really tough to push a location that has both the ultimate and the traps laid down. And if you're lucky to sit in a spot for long enough, you can even set up more than one of your ultimates to further fortify that location. Just know if an enemy overtakes the control of the area around the trophy system, it will help them just as much as it helps you. It'll destroy your ordnance and slowly charge their shields instead, so make sure to destroy your own pylons before an enemy can use them. What's cool about this ability, though, is that it's actually one of the fastest regenerating ults in the game, and that's primarily because it doesn't just regen like usual. You can use an ultimate accelerant, and because Wattson has a passive ability, it allows her to fully recharge her ultimate ability from any ultimate accelerant, and these are pretty common around the map. So if a teammate of yours has an ultimate accelerant, if you're a Wattson, ask for it, because you can instantly place down your ultimate, which is a huge, really effective trophy system that can destroy any airstrikes and any incoming grenades and such. You can place down your ultimate in a spot and then instantly gain it back. This is helpful for your team too if you're sitting in one location for a long duration of time, because it does also slowly recharge your shields if you're within the radius of this ultimate ability. And so it's quite good to have these in common, and quite good to have your ultimate fully recharged and ready to just drop down very quickly. This can give you a huge advantage in any fight, as you can place the pylon ultimates carefully and you can place your traps carefully. You can create this defended position where you can also use the defended position to regen your energy or your shields. And then also you can place multiple of your ultimates all around you to kind of create this defensive position somewhere. For what we ran throughout our games as a team composition, I ran Wattson, Bridger ran Caustic, and Will ran Lifeline. Using a slower paced defensive style of play showed really successful results with this crew. If you're able to move from cover to cover, building to building, and set up a perimeter with Caustic and Wattson abilities, you can choose carefully the fights you want to take. Caustic is the gas legend. He's the guy who placed down gas traps. You can put them in blocked doors with them. And really what this does is that if, as Wattson, you're placing perimeter traps everywhere, you can mix these with Caustic's gas traps, and what this does, it just creates this double layer of defense over a location where if players are coming through, they're just going to have a much more difficult time trying to get through an area like a choke point, for example, if you have these traps just laid out. If you've had a minute of time to place all these traps, then you're able to get maybe 4 or 6 of your little trap wires down, as well as Caustic's able to put maybe 3 of his gas plops down, and then boom, you've got a whole choke point defended and ready to go, ready to just ambush whoever wants to come through. So if you're able to take advantage of knowing where your enemy decides to attack you from, with the help of the Caustic and Wattson traps, you can easily ambush groups that are forced into that trap location. The team composition is extremely strong at taking short-range fights in a condensed area because of the area control both Wattson and Caustic provide. So again, Wattson and Caustic, both best buddies, and then also on top of that, if you have something like a lifeline, that'll help you a lot when, again, trying to defend an area. It's a very defensive kind of strategy that you have to take here. You're not a group that's going to be pushing a lot of people, more like letting people come into your area and try to defend your area by itself, especially if you're holding at something like a choke point where people are forced to go in between the canyons and come through a small cave towards you or something. This team composition is perfect for that exactly. So that's basically Wattson. Again, she's probably my new favorite legend, not only because now I know how to play her pretty well, but also I think that she's great great for those defensive style of games, and it reminds me of other kind of more strategy-based games whenever I'm playing her, because I can place her traps, and there's a lot of depth to where you place her traps and what you can do with those traps, especially when you're stealing other Wattson's traps from them and building up bunkered locations with your ultimate and your traps at the same time and a caustic. So definitely suggest trying her out. But also there's a lot more to know in Season 2 of Apex Legends. There's flying dinos now that have rare loot that they carry around the map. They usually sit up on top of the big plateaus above you, and once they're spooked by getting shot at, or maybe a player like throws a grenade nearby or something, they'll fly around in circles until they get shot again by a player, and once they get shot, they'll proceed to fly up and out of the map. It'll only take a few shots to get the dino to drop its loot that it's holding, so you don't really have to waste too much ammo, but you just have to kind of announce your position by firing up at the dino bird thing. Along with these flyers comes the chance to find a legendary box. With this legendary box, you can find the brand new L-Star LMG, and this is a really hard-hitting legendary weapon. It'll just shred the opponent's shields and health within seconds. This is a very, very high DPS weapon. The weapon also comes with a cooldown system, so don't hold the trigger for too long or it will overheat, and you'll start hearing it kind of overheating when it does. So make sure to fire it in short to medium length bursts. And also, it's more of a medium to close range weapon. I actually had a lot of success just spraying people down at really close range. First off, I'm not the greatest in accuracy. I didn't have my mouse sensitivity perfectly down when I was recording these video gameplays. But whenever I would get in a close quarter situation, this gun just did so much more damage than whatever I was faced up against. It does have quite a slow bullet velocity because it's not exactly shooting bullets, but it's more shooting these little plasma bursts. So make sure you lead your target accordingly, and also try to take targets at not too far of range, because it's really hard to hit people at far away, especially when you have only a limited ammo supply with this weapon. Also, all around the map now, you will find caged dinos, and these dinosaurs all actually have a huge value attached to them now. If a player accidentally walks in front of the dinosaur in its cage, it'll begin to screech out, alerting the entire area of their location.
I like the, oh, there's an animal in this cage over here. You guys good?
Yeah, I was just shooting the animal in the cage. He'll alert everybody around.
These caged dinosaurs can also be put down with a few shots, but make sure you choose the right time to take aim. If you stay out of their sightline and go behind the cage and shoot them from behind, you can get away with killing them without actually alerting the beast, or sneaking past without actually alerting them, and leave a deadly trap for the other legends in the field. Talking about dinos though, there's these ones. These ones are gigantic. They used to be in the ocean on like the southeast side of the map, but now yeah, now they invaded. The entire area around these dinosaurs has been absolutely destroyed, only leaving destroyed building remnants and dirt piles and kind of some craters here and there. What this does though is that it forces you out into the open at risk of a chance to find higher tier loot. Occasionally these massive dinos will lift their legs up, revealing very rare objects like level 2 and 3 armor with Phoenix kits. The rare spawns vary and change each match, and I only actually was able to get underneath the foot once, and it didn't really end well, so you don't know what you're going to find under their feet, but usually it's a very rare item in the game. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with what you find under their feet, because you have to be there basically right beside the foot to be able to sneak underneath it, grab the item, and get out quick enough, because that thing will come down in like literally 3 seconds of it being raised up. It's super fast. You have to get out quick. And all the way from learning Wattson's abilities to getting stomped by gigantic dinosaurs, that's all that I've really learned, and that's all that I can share for you for a good beginner's guide to Season 2 in Apex Legends. Honestly, joining my friends who are basically professionals in this game and playing with them for quite a while, basically playing for 2 days straight to make this video, I actually really started to enjoy this game quite a bit. So if you guys would like to see more of this game, definitely comment it down in the comment section down below. So this is it for now, and I'll see you in the next one.